Welcome back to talkSPORT Driving, our dedicated motorsports channel on YouTube. I'm here in the Sao Paulo pit lane in the Formula E World Championship. We've just had the first race of the season, and I mean, you couldn't have predicted what happened in this race. We had someone start last and win the race. We had a 20-year-old rookie come third in his first proper race as a full-time driver in this championship, and we had another former champion on the podium alongside them, Antonio Felix da Costa. So let's first of all hear from Mitch Evans, who started last, had a disastrous qualifying, and somehow managed to win the race here in Sao Paulo for the second time in 3 years.
Oh, honestly, very hard to digest that one. Obviously starting from the last, I saw it quite a bit. But I had an amazing first lap, first two laps. I made 10 places, so that really changed the dynamic of my race. But yeah, once obviously, I think it was Nick that kicked off the attack mode, the first attack mode, and we've been start to see how powerful that thing was. It was quite surprising, and then I was around him, and then all of a sudden he was in the lead. So yeah, that was like, okay, you have to use this wisely, because it's there's so much benefit of using it. So I was just trying to be smart with that. I was good on energy, but obviously the two interruptions really they did change the dynamic, but I was always kind of on the good side of it because my energy my energy state was always quite good. Obviously, it's good to see Pascal walk away from that nasty crash. But yeah, it was all about timing that second attack well. And then at the end with Antonio, I was really tight to hang on to it, because the energy, we still had to do quite a bit of management of energy in the last few laps. So him being in my toe, he could have easily got a buffer on me, and it was tight. It was like, if the target was any lower, I would have probably struggled to hang on to that. So, but yeah, just a wild one. Very hard to even understand. Because 1 minute I was like up in the top 4, and then I was back down to P12, and then I was in the lead. So yeah, crazy.
Obviously, it's all about winning races, but breaking records is nice as well. See, today starting in the back, P22, first driver in the history of Formula E to do that.
Is it a record?
New record, yeah. So
nice.
Lucas P15 before. So when did you realise that was going to happen? What was the sort of lap time you thought, I'm going to get this?
Oh, literally out of the last lap. At the last corner of the last lap. Like, it wasn't like literally a corner before. I could have lost it like I did last year, but in a different way. Like, it was so tight on energy. So honestly, I knew I had it, coming onto the main straight for the last time. Before that, it was like, which way is this going to go? So if the tag was a touch higher, I would have been like really confident. But it was like really on the limit. It was honestly quite uncomfortable. So just got it done, and yeah, nice to get that 25 points straight away.
And just a note about Sao Paulo, obviously 2 out of 3. Looking forward to next year.
Should have been 3 out of 3, which still hurts. But yeah, it's been a good place to me. So it wasn't so kind this morning during qualifying, but we just pulled off something pretty special. So yeah, pretty happy.
Another great result for Mitch Evans. That's 3 podiums in 3 years that we've been coming here to Sao Paulo. Pushing him all the way was Antonio Felix da Costa with Tag Heuer Porsche. Now, he started last year not in a great place. He then went on to get multiple wins, and he started this season, season 11 of Formula E, with a second place finish.
Man, that was crazy. I think I knew the dynamic of this new Gen 3 Evo car was going to change the races, but I wasn't expecting for that much. I took my first attack mode quite late, and must have dropped from like P2 or P3 outside of the top 10. And it's like, you try to stay calm, because when you activate attack mode, you try and go back to the front, but it's a little worrying when you see so many cars come past you. So yeah, I think the key today was just the team and myself, being able to think on our feet, adapting, improvising, and use our experience to bring home a good result.
And just a word on that 4-wheel drive. We talked about it a lot. I heard it on commentary. It seems to be just an absolute game changer. Yeah. How was it? Talk us through that experience.
It's insane, and I think it's awesome for the fans. This year, the last couple of years, the attack modes weren't really attack modes. We were trying to get rid of them and not use that energy. And I think now they are true attack modes. They've never been more used to attack than now. So I hope that everybody at home enjoyed that. I want to go and rewatch that race, because I know it was crazy. So yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Inside the car was mega. The car is amazing to drive with a 4-wheel drive. So yeah, happy.
And just finally, a word on Pascal. Obviously, that was a pretty big crash. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it back, but just massively thankful for him being well and the safety features on this car.
Yeah, I've had a very quick look at it, and I think the main thing is that we have to remind ourselves that what we do is a dangerous sport, and we need to race. Everybody needs to race with respect. Our cars are getting faster, the tracks are tight and they're bumpy, and I'm not saying that neither of them was at fault today, but yeah, it's a good. I'm happy. It's fine. It's very good.
Great to see Antonio's beaming smile back on the podium. Also great for the Brazilian fans here to have a Portuguese speaker for them to talk to after the race. Then we come on to the rookies. We had 3 rookies making their full season debut here in Sao Paulo. David Beckman with Cooper Kiro, also Zane Maloney with Lola Yamaha Abt, and Taylor Barnard, who we've seen 3 races before from him when he stood in for Sam Bird at Neon McLaren. He managed to finish on the podium ahead of Sam Bird after making a storming start to his full-time Formula E career.
It feels great. Obviously, the youngest point scorer was already pretty nice. To be the youngest podium sitter was even better. I think now my target is firmly set on being the youngest race winner. I think the team have done a great job this weekend, and the Nissan powertrain seems to be pretty strong, so I don't think that's unrealistic, but I've set myself a high bar for the rest of the season.
And you and Sam seem to work really well together there. So just talk us through that relationship and how that played out for the race.
I think Neil McLaren do a great job at bringing in new drivers and a young driver into such an environment which feels like a family. It's really enjoyable to work with everyone. It's really enjoyable to just to be there. To have someone like Sam, which is extremely experienced and well known in Formula E, to have him supporting me and to be so friendly towards me is great. It's really great, and I hope we can continue this friendship and this competitiveness into the rest of the season.
Yeah, and overall the package looks really good this season. Almost early days, but really good time for you and Sam today. Oliver looked really good at times. Norman fastest lap. Just talk us through how that package in general was looking good.
Yeah, obviously we struggled in qualifying, but it was just us. Nissan seems pretty strong, so as a team we still have a lot to work on, but I think the main thing is that the powertrain looks really strong. It's just good for us as a team. A lot to work on, a lot to improve still. But to walk away with the points that we have and the improvement gap that we still need to make, I think it's looking good.
A magical moment for the 20-year-old who, as I said, was only driving in his 4th ever E-Prix, making his debut as a full-time driver for Neon McLaren, with Sam Bird, his teammate who won here last year, just behind him, pushing him all the way, but making sure of a good points haul for Neon McLaren. Other shout-outs need to go to Mahindra, with Nick De Vries and Edo Mortara finishing 5th and 7th, a great points haul for them. And we're going to do it all again very soon in Mexico as we go into round 2 on the 11th of January. We'll of course have highlights on talkSPORT. We'll see loads more across this channel, the talkSPORT Driving YouTube channel. So if you haven't already and you liked what you've seen from Formula E, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the little bell as well. You get a notification every time we put up a new video, and we will see you in Mexico in the new year.